Welcome, everyone, to the Beer Guys radio show. Thanks for joining us this week, hanging out, having some beers and some conversations. I am Tim Dennis. Brian Hewitt, how are you doing this week?
I'm doing good. Doing good.
That's
I got a little sun, so I think I'm maybe a little flushed, a little pink today. But
okay.
Other than that, yeah, I'm feeling good. It probably is making me feel better that I actually got a little sun, which is not something I typically do. So
it's good. Get them vitamin D. Vitamin D, isn't it? Isn't it what sun activates for you? Yeah. So get your vitamin Ds going. That's always helpful. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nate, how's your vitamin D?
I generally work outside, so I get a lot of incidental vitamin D.
He gets a lot of the D.
He does. Good for you, Nate. Good for you.
Tim, how's your D intake?
I get out like once a month, whether I need it or not there. So yeah, I could use a little more D in my life, honestly, now that we've brought it up here. So
we're all adults.
Yeah. Maybe I can get out, maybe I can get outside and find me some D. Just go look.
It's all around, I hear. So
yeah. So anyhow, moving right along there, guys. This show is about beer and not about vitamins, which is definitely what we were talking about there. So we'll jump right into it with our beers of the week, guys. Before we get there, we usually talk about what we did. I really don't have anything exciting to report from my last weekend. It was a good time. We went to a little joint here called My Parents' Basement, which is I have complaints, Brian. I have complaints.
You do? Yes, actually.
Yeah.
You're still angry about the sandwich,
I am still angry about the sandwich. That is correct. So, but no, we like My Parents' Basement. It's a good joint. They have craft beer and pinball, which, as you guys know, we do enjoy that. But I'm trying to eat healthier, and I'm trying to avoid, super, super unhealthy foods. And they had a roasted turkey sandwich on focaccia, and the focaccia was super thick and dense, like a lead weight, and it crumbled apart and it just fell to pieces. And I'm like, I made a decision that I thought was a healthier choice because the other options on the menu are like cheeseburgers, nachos, this and that. No, I went with a turkey sandwich, and I was angry at that time. I'm still angry, Brian, at the sandwich that I had last weekend. I'll make it through this though. I will persevere. So
eventually you'll get over it. So
yeah. Had Celebration Ale on tap, so nice to break into that. So good times there. But Nate, you do anything fun last weekend?
I went to a concert on Saturday, but beer related fun. No, I didn't really have anything exciting to talk about.
Okay, there was potential bottle share action last weekend. Did that happen?
No, they're potential, and it did not get out of the group chat. So,
that's bottle shares on Sundays are tough. Or Brian is elderly, as you know. I mean, you can see him. You can see him. So, you work all week, you go out and you have a good time on Saturday. There's got to be a little time to get some fuel back in that tank. He gets his D on Sundays a lot of the time.
Exactly. That is when I'm getting my D. Now, I got to tell you that on Saturday, I decided that it'd be a great time to get into some of my various interesting cellar beers. With some of them were stouts. And on Sunday, I was waking up and I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot that if I get into a bunch of cellar stouts, I feel it the next day. And I was, I had briefly, it fluttered through my head like bottle share. And I was like, no.
Like it's not happening.
It's not happening.
My body can't handle this.
Yeah. So I had like an idiot. I had like a mini bottle share on Saturday of all stouts, and regret like this.
Any standouts?
So one of the ones I had was the J.W. Lee's. It's not actually stout. It's a barley one. J.W. Lee's. I believe that was on Calvados cask from 2012. Beautiful, like very low carbonation, but like really like rich apple. It's like a lot of like really apple in a good way, not apple in a, like the really acetaldehyde way that I sometimes get from some barrels. Beautiful beer. I had that. I'm trying to think of what else I had. Actually, wasn't really thinking about that until just now, but that was like the standout from that time. I got into something older that held up reasonably well. Oh, that was the Atlanta Brewing Company anniversary dark saison. It held up sort of well, but it had some real issues because it was very dated. It was nearly 10 years old, and so that one Drank a little bit more of it than I was expecting to. It was like a wine barrel aged one. It had some really nice character to it, but it had too much oxidation to really stick with it. So I imagine that drinking beers like that also probably didn't help the way I felt the next day, because I mean, I don't know, like those really old beers with the really interesting oxidation like that can't be good for you, right? We always talk about oxidative stress. Yeah. So I'm like, am I drinking oxidative stress every time I drink one of those beers? Maybe. I don't know.
Or maybe it's just that a lot of those are generally pretty boozy beers too.
Also, so, yes. Yeah. You know, some of that. Yeah.
That could be it. You know, speaking of big beers, Brian, news that we love seeing. I think it's every 2 years that they release it. Sam Adams, their Utopia 2025 released recently. And they've apparently had a goal for a while. I wasn't aware of this, but that's what the articles tell me, of hitting 30% with Utopia. And they did it this time. So the latest batch of Sam Adams Utopia is 30% ABV. And we can't get it in Georgia because it is above our ABV cap, because it is still technically a beer. So since it hits that 30%, it's above our acceptable limit here. But if anybody's listening and could assist me in getting a bottle of it, I would like a bottle. So
I would too.
You know, drop us a message, hit us up. Brian mans the Twitter account with great regularity. I look at our Instagram occasionally, and Facebook's a great way to reach us. We're having email issues. Our email server's having issues, but any of the social media channels. So if that's something that you could assist with, we definitely appreciate you letting us know. But so it's a high-powered ale, they say, Brian, and the Utopias is aged in casks that previously held Irish whiskey, cognac, ruby port, and Scotch. And Nate, have you had it? Have you had Utopias?
So you brought a bottle into the studio once, and then I had it another time. I will say I will be in Ohio for Thanksgiving this year, and Sam Adams Utopias is distributed to Ohio.
Keep an eye out. I had to hook up a few years back a buddy in Canada, and I don't know exactly what the rules are, but they've got their government. I forget what they're called there, but the Canadian alcohol board there, and they had Utopias for $79 US, I think, a bottle. Because here you're probably going to pay around $250 or more is probably what it typically is listed for any place that you see it. So
I think the suggested retail price on this one that was released was $240. And I happened to see on a Beer Advocate thread that somebody took a picture of it in Costco for, I believe it was like $249.99. So pretty close.
And that's Costco.
And if I saw it at Costco, if I saw it for that price on a shelf, like I won't because it's not legal here, but if I saw it, I would actually say, you know, I wasn't planning on spending $250 right now, but I'm spending $250 right now. I'd get one. I would get one.
And I think it's good. I think a lot of people are disappointed in it because they drink it thinking of beer, and it definitely drinks a lot more like a spirit. You know, you have a small pour of it, enjoy that.
They even say in the write-up, I've got the article I opened up while you're talking about it, that they recommend you drink it 1 to 2 ounces per serving at room temperature and like in a brandy snifter or something like that. You're not supposed to drink this like a beer. You're supposed to drink this like a port or a sherry or something like, or a cordial or liqueur or whatever you want to call it. But like from a fancy small glass with your pinky extended, you know, like sniff it, sip it,
smell it, swirl it, savor it, sip it slowly, all of those things. But
definitely not a drinking beer for sure.
No, you're not going to get an 8-ounce pour of that. And I mean, you can. It's your life. You know, we just don't recommend it.
It can be a drinking beer if you're in a group chat. You know, in those rare cases, you could drink it from a pint glass.
This is a true story.
Yeah, but or
straight from the bottle.
Or right from the bottle, but that's not typical. That's only if you're in a group chat. So
special use case is what they call that, Brian. Yeah. Well, Brian, what are your beers of the week this week?
All right. So my pregame was October Sun from Mast Landing. I thought the name was appropriate, and I don't drink a lot of Mast Landing beers. I thought this would be fun to get into. It's a New England IPA, and they call it a yearly ode to all that is bright, comforting, and joyful. And I thought it was kind of a little thick. It was bright. It was citrusy. It was, I think I got like a papaya in like the best possible way out of it. It was quite nice. And so now I am drinking from Hop Butcher for the World Galaxy Bowl, which is a New England double IPA with a lot of Galaxy hops. And after the show with the Patreon folks, I'll probably get into Pipeworks Eternal Glitter. I was going to drink that one first, but then I realized it was like a 10% beast of a beer, and I don't want to try to do the show while I'm drinking that. But a Belgian golden ale with pineapple and key lime juice on top of it. So it's I was hoping it would have glitter in it. I don't think it does, just because glitter beers they're so ridiculous that I would definitely buy them. But
that's so 10 years ago, Brian.
I don't care. I want a Brut IPA with glitter in it. That's what I want. Give me that.
Have they done any beers with gold in them?
Like a Schlager?
Like a Schlager. Yeah, old gold Schlager there. So what made me think of it is, Brian and I are cologne fans, and a brand that we both like a lot is releasing a fragrance called Midas Touch. And they've got a special edition bottle that's actually got gold flakes in it. And I remembered that gold flakes are in fact edible, or there's edible gold, and Goldschlager, I do recall it had gold flakes in it.
Is that gone? Is that still made?
I have no idea.
I don't know the last time I saw it, but like the price of gold, at some point those bottles would have been, the flakes of gold in them might have been worth more than the bottle. I don't know.
They should do a gilded Malort and have Malort with some gold in there. I think that
with gold flakes,
everybody would want that. Fool's gold. Fool's gold flakes. Is that edible though? I don't know if that one is. So
I don't know.
If you're drinking Malort, it'll be fine.
Iron pyrite in there. Like, if we need to figure out if this is edible, but if we do, Malort with iron pyrite in it would be amazing. Don't anybody drink that until we figure out if you can actually do that without dying. So.
Malort, feel free to use our idea. We'd just send us a bottle. Send us a bottle,
please.
Nate, how about you, man? What are you sipping on this week?
All right, starting in my glass right now from Old Nation, I've got Fence Hop, which is a double New England IPA. This is actually really nice. I do enjoy this. You can taste the heavier percentage. It's 9%. So, and then on deck from Three Taverns, I've got Morning Smack, which is my favorite stout by Three Taverns, and this is one that is an imperial pastry stout. So it's got like coffee, maple syrup, bacon, just really tasty, and I'm very happy that it's out in the market again.
And that's their bigger version, right? Because don't they have a morning snack as well that I think is a little lighter?
Yeah, they've got a morning
snack.
Yeah, Smack and Snack, or Midnight Snack. Midnight Snack.
Okay.
Is the other one.
The beefier one? Gotcha. I don't even know. They're both pretty good.
Yeah.
They're both actually really good. Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, guys, moving along here to some of our stories this week. I think we announced this on the show a few weeks back, month back or so, but Dan Kleban, who is the founder of Maine Beer Company, he was running for Senate, but he has announced that he has ended his run for Senate.
Yeah, it was about a month ago, and yeah, it didn't work out. The official word from Dan Kleban is that he's out. He's officially endorsing Governor Janet Mills for that Senate seat, and she's running against some other people. I don't follow that particular election, or most of them really, so I don't know who else is running. But according to the announcement, he says his message was right, but the timing wasn't, which is a very politically savvy thing to say, I think. And that he intends to, quote, keep giving back through public service, unquote. And that's a very well-crafted statement. I don't know if that eliminates the possibility of future runs for public office or not, or if he just plans to hey, I'm going to do the stuff I can from Maine Beer Company, which he has, some leverage. He can do some things. He's definitely done some things historically. So he could continue to do good things without ever getting public office. I don't know if he's ever going to run again or not, but yeah, it didn't last, unfortunately, for him. So
it's not lip service when he says he's going to continue, doing good stuff, because Maine Beer Company has always been pretty involved in those kind of things. So, all right, it happens sometimes, man. Well, Brian, everywhere we look, there's a brewery closing. Things are happening, and Big Beer is not immune to that, of course. And recently, we found news that Molson Coors is going to be cutting a lot of jobs before the end of the year.
Yeah, they're going to eliminate about 400 salaried positions by December, and that's about 9% of their salaried workforce in the Americas. These cuts include open positions, which I understand to mean that they there are positions that exist that just aren't staffed currently, which doesn't cost anybody anything, honestly, other than maybe some paperwork to maintain them, but also employees that will be granted voluntary severance. The goal of these cuts is a little vague. They say it's to create a leaner, more agile America's organization while advancing its ability to reinvest in the business and position the company for future growth. That was all very corporate speak in a quote. That growth will be related to its beer portfolio, but also expansion into premium mixers, non-alcoholic beverages, and energy drinks. In short, it sounds like they're trying to become what they call a, quote, total beverage company, unquote, which is, I think, something we've seen other beer companies start doing. Like, we're not just beer anymore. We're a beverage company. Starting with small breweries and that, trying to be, all beverages there. Exactly. So the restructuring is expected to cost Molson Coors between $35 and $50 million in severance and unemployment benefits. So this isn't just free money for them. It's going to cost them something. The changes occur as the company faces a declining market presence, which I think is the real reason they're doing this. Their year-to-date dollar sales have fallen 5.6%, a loss of $355 million. Their volume has declined by nearly 7%, and their share of the beer market's total dollar sales has dropped by 0.5%. So, yeah, it's not going well for Molson Coors right now. Everywhere you turn, man, things are happening there. So not a shocker there with that one at all. Indeed. Yeah. Brian, on the hop front, some news on hops, a new hop there, which is always fun to hear about. Thora is the name of this one. And they say this is bringing the thiol thunder to beer. Thora is formerly called HQG4. That's its code name. It's the latest publicly named hop variety released from the collaboration between the Hop Quality Group and the USDA Agricultural Research Service. So to be given a name, new hop varieties need to bring something new to the table, to the market, that can't easily be gotten from other existing hops that are already out there. What makes Thora special is its remarkably high concentration of thiols, which give it an intense and complex aroma. Thora is said to exceed the thiol levels of most existing U.S. Hop cultivars out there. It's described as delivering a thunderous and bold sensory experience, bursting with notes of passion fruit, guava, grapefruit, and stone fruit, underscored by resinous and dank undertones. So I think the point here is the intensity of the tropical flavors these hops, in part because we've seen those flavor notes before from other hops. And as you might expect, the hop is named after Thor, the Norse god Thor, the thunder god, I believe. So as for how to brew with Thor, I think it's going to be kind of obvious. It's going to be best used in IPAs and other bold, hop-forward beer styles. What's cool about Thora is it's public, a publicly USDA-bred hop, which means it's not subject to any agricultural patents, which typically means the hop is cheaper for farmers and brewers to acquire to use. Thora is now available in limited commercial quantities from select Pacific Northwest farms, and there are plans to expand its acreage in the 2026 growing season, so it's going to be a lot more widely available next year. But it's already in use out there now. There are already breweries making beers with that. I don't recall the specific breweries or the specific names, but if you look around, you can probably find a little bit of it in use right now. It's cool to see new things are still happening, with the downturn. It's always fun to see the new grains, and I'm forgetting the name of it. What was that magic grain that's been popular here lately? I was thinking Faro, but that's not it. That's something else.
Talking about Kernza?
No. The West African grain, the Fonio.
Yeah. Right? What's that?
Fonio,
I think that may be it. Yeah, Fonio.
Yeah, the grain from West Africa that's like drought resistant and possible.
I wonder if
economic juggernaut for West Africa, possibly, right? Maybe.
It does not look like it's getting wings. That though, unfortunately, there's been a few breweries that have kind of used it, but it's not like it's being highly adopted there. And the one beer I've tried with it in it. That sounds awkward, but it was okay. It was decent.
Yeah.
And when you're not using your typical barley bill there, you're definitely going to get some different flavors there. That's like the gluten-free beers use like millet and some other things, and it just doesn't taste the same as beer. It's different grain, so that's the way that's going to work.
I wonder with that, So I don't see it catching on bigly here in the U.S., but I think possibly in Africa, I wouldn't be surprised if it ramps up, because I think there's probably a lot of opportunity there. They got to get it grown in Africa and then get it all over to our continent. But if people are brewing in Africa, I think it's logistically a lot easier for them to get that and use it locally. So it could still become a big thing, just maybe not. Maybe it won't be huge on our continent for a while, unless something really amazing is found out about it, like, ways to brew with it or something like that. So that's the possibility. You never know with these things. It might take something special to happen first.
Yeah, it could. You never know. May start growing it here.
Possible. Yeah.
If it gets popular. Sure enough. Brian, beer and health, two things that, as it is obvious, we are both fans of there, but a new study on both alcoholic and non-alcoholic beer say that both improve the gut microbiota diversity.
Indeed, yeah. I get a lot of fun alerts like this. Like anything sciencey that comes along with beer comes to me, and I really like all this stuff. I really do enjoy it.
For sure.
I'm definitely not like the health spokesman or anything, but yeah, this kind of stuff I eat up. So a randomized double-blind controlled trial of beer consumption and the gut microbiota determined that beer improves your gut's microbiome in terms of diversity. And the more diverse your microbiome is, the better your body is able to digest and actually use the food you eat for good things. So it's a good thing. Or that's kind of my paraphrasing to quote the study. This is just generally linked to better health outcomes. That's a safe way of putting it. So what I've said is just what I've put together. But anyway, about the study, it wasn't a very long study or a very large one. It took place over 4 weeks. It involved 22 healthy men. The participants drank about exactly 330 milliliters, which is approximately a 12-ounce bottle of either non-alcoholic beer or regular beer daily. What they found is the consumption of both non-alcoholic and alcoholic beer significantly increased the gut's microbiota diversity. And the findings seem to be independent of alcohol. It didn't matter if you had alcoholic beer or non-alcoholic beer. Either one did the same thing. They also found that a daily beer consumption for 4 weeks did not significantly increase body weight, body fat mass, or negatively impact biomarkers like cholesterol or glucose. But keep in mind, we are talking about a single bottle of 5% beer a day here, so we're not talking about a weekend bender or anything like that. So the study suggests that the benefits are tied to the polyphenols in beers, and the majority of the polyphenols in beer come from the hops. So one might theorize, potentially, that hop water would also provide a similar benefit, though I'm not sure if the same kind of isomerization happens there, and I think that's that's a key to this, like that's the heat, so maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I'm not sure how they put that in the hop water. But anyway, me speculating, I think that anything that uses hops, so hop water to beer, potentially could be beneficial to your gut. But we know for sure beer and non-alcoholic beer is. Either one of them.
And they didn't add hop water to the study there.
They did not, but I extrapolated from what I was reading.
I mean, I think it's very interesting that they put so much into it, it's invested so much time and so many people. I mean, we're talking 20 people in a whole month.
I know, right?
In this,
can't
Brian.
believe it.
So,
yeah,
I got to say this: a lot of the research that we get involving beer, they're pretty low data sets to work with there. So,
true.
Definitely grain of salt type information there. I definitely like to see, larger groups, larger study. So, but it's interesting to see. Maybe they do these little ones and say, hey, we notice that this seems to be the case. Then maybe, maybe it is something that they can do a bigger study on it. Who knows, Brian? Maybe the beer that had the reason I've been having issues with beer is I haven't been drinking enough beer.
I think that's
the problem. I need to get my beer intake back up and get my gut biome rebuilt.
I was thinking that you maybe need to start off with hop water to help build it up to the point where
move to back up to NA beer,
graduate up. Yeah, you get up back before you know it. You'll be drinking lambics, by the funnel full.
You know how they do those cleanses where like they take a bunch of supplements to just gut you out over the course of 3 or 4 days.
Yeah,
maybe I should just go on a bender. Maybe that's the way I should do it. Is just trial by fire.
That would be a perfect way of doing it. I think that most doctors would actually recommend that.
They would.
I wouldn't even bother consulting one before doing it. I don't see. Just try it out.
I mean, it doesn't seem necessary. Really. No, it's pretty obvious. So
I was reading this, and one of the other things that a lot of studies like this have that it's a really obvious glaring thing. They did all men too. Like this is only prescriptive maybe of how it would affect men. And as it's been pointed out by other studies that I've looked into and things I've read is like, it may not work at all the same way for women. This could have been completely negated if they had, half women, half men. So we don't know.
If it was more beer, I mean, because this really sounds like it was all men. It was 22 guys. It was a month. This almost sounds like a group of dudes got together and their wives were giving them grief for drinking.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm part of a study. Here.
Maybe they put together the study to justify drinking beer every night. Oh,
that's what I was saying, man.
Yeah,
that's what I was saying. Yeah, they're like, no, I gotta have this. I gotta have this. And then I mean, really, the only extra step they'd have to add to it would be making notes on it. So get drunk, write something down.
Somebody just write something down. Good. And if they got enough funding for the study, I'm like, maybe they all took the month off too. I'm like, you got plenty of time.
Them,
write
man.
any old thing down, and then we'll come up with something sciencey later.
Yeah, he's just drawing stick figures in the log book. Here's my results. So like, this is exactly what we expected there.
Indeed.
Brian, AI is everywhere these days. We hear about it, and you just can't go anywhere without hearing about AI and what it's doing, what it's getting involved with, and of course, it's getting involved with beer. And but here's my thing. Before we dive into the story, AI, I don't want it replacing things, but if we can use it to enhance things, then I think that's great. We've talked about it in brewing, and a big thing I've seen a lot of it in is the colognes that we like, Brian. So they're talking about writing formulas with these, and people are like, well, you're taking the artistic piece out of it, which I would be the same with beer. You're taking the creativity out of it in that. But they're saying that it can be used to minimize the time. Like a brewer could go in and they're like, I want to brew a beer with this, and this, something innovative that maybe they don't know the exact results, that AI can tell you the most efficient way to get to that, or if that's going to work, give you some idea there. And so it's not taking the creativity away, but it is minimizing the time you have to get to the results that you want there, I guess. So, and I'm probably chopping that up. I think that's the essence of it. And I'm okay with that, using it as a tool, just like any other tool. Let's not replace creativity with it, like if you're on the internet, any at all, and you look at anything like YouTube Shorts or the Facebook, Reels or whatever they call them there's just so much AI trash out there. Right.
Oh, the AI slop is what they're calling it.
Yeah.
You can tell, and it's not enjoyable to watch usually.
No, garbage. No. So let's try our best to take advantage of the good things. But with all that said, Brian, AI, in this case, in the story that we're sharing today, AI can cut beer fermentation time by 28%.
Yes, finally doing something useful for beer, aside from generating really bad beer labels. So Yokogawa Electric Corp and Kraft Bank Company in Kyoto, Japan, created a successful proof of concept that used AI to optimize beer fermentation. By implementing a temperature schedule generated by AI, which I think observed previous fermentations and other aspects of things going on, the brewers were able to shorten the fermentation of an IPA from 336 hours to 240 hours, and that is a 28% reduction in time. The reduction in fermentation time was achieved while confirming that all the quality criteria were met through sensory evaluation. So they were tasting along the way to make sure this was not just done in quotes, but it really was done right. The beer in question is Bank IPA, which won a silver medal at the 2023 Great Beer Awards in Japan. So the Kraft Bank company was motivated to get this right because they've got a big beer on their hands here. Prior to this, AI generated temperature schedule. The brewers just kept the temperatures constant. They just monitored the gravity and the aroma and the flavor and all that to see when the beer was done. They just let it ride it out. Kraft Bank says that they plan to explore new and unique brewing techniques based on the success of this AI-driven approach. So They're going to mess with the temperatures more. No more of this just kind of letting it ride type of thing. So my thought is it's a shame that saisons aren't more popular these days, because I'll bet AI could come up with some really interesting, intriguing ones by fiddling just with the fermentation temperature alone. That schedule of fermentation temperature, which we learned from our home brewing of IPA or saisons, was made such a difference. It was like made some really remarkable beers. But
it did, and with that we did step it up. We didn't start at the temperature, so that may be something, Brian. Maybe we can use AI to to see what to do there. But we started off low, let the fermentation get going and that. And I believe that we were told if you started off at a super high temperature, you'd get some off flavors that you didn't want. You wanted to eat through most of the stuff first, and then you slowly raise it up, which really brings out like the phenols in the beer and that you want from those saison yeast. And we had a good saison. So, I think we talked about trying it different ways and seeing if it was worth it, but it was one of those things we were so happy with the results the way they were, we didn't mess with it much because it worked well.
It was really good. It was like, just don't mess with it. So my question is because we're not currently brewing right now, and I'd love to see how this works. Well, Mike, Nate, you're still doing some home brewing. Are you gonna try to use a little AI to work out like some fermentation stuff in your future stuff now that it's a possible thing that maybe you could look into?
I'm not fancy enough to need it,
Okay.
I like to be completely honest with you. We brewed a lager on Saturday, and it seemed stuck until about Tuesday. So, we're just not brewing super. We're not as diehard about our brewing anymore. So, I don't really need the 28% reduction in fermentation time.
Maybe you need an AI generated schedule of just like jostling the fermentation chamber, your bottle. How often do I need to jiggle this to wake up the yeast and get them working?
Yeah. Or set up.
Nate, do you have temperature control for your fermentation?
I do.
Okay,
I do.
That's good.
I just thought that we would be good because it was cooler temperatures and whatnot, but it turns out we were not.
Okay, one day it'll ferment. Good luck there. Good luck to your beer. Well, Brian, before we move along, how about we give a shout out to our good friends over at Truck and Tap?
All right. Yes. It is hard to believe it, but spooky season is here again already. Shorter days and terrifyingly cool temperatures at night. I mean, 50s. I mean, terrifying, terrible.
I think we dipped into, did we hit 39 one day, or maybe
did we hit
49?
I want to say we might have hit,
is that right?
49.
We hit the
Yeah, it's supposed to be low 40s tomorrow morning.
There you go. All right.
Oh goodness. So yeah, it's terrifying. It really is fall. But that also means that it's time for a Halloween party at Truck and Tap. So this is the silver lining to that dark cloud. But so swing by next Friday. That's Halloween, in your best costume and have a beer or two. If you do it right, you'll have some great beer and you'll walk away with some extra money in your pocket because they're doing a costume contest again this year. And if you want the full details on that, go check out the Truck and Tap website, truckandtap.com, or maybe take a look at their social media, or they'll just tell you when you get there. One of those things. But let's talk about what you're going to drink while you're there. That's where I fit into this whole equation. Here are my beer picks for the week. At Truck and Tap Woodstock, I'm going with Jackie O's Chomo Lungma because it sounds like something that's kind of scary. It isn't, though. Actually sounds like it could be disease, too, but it's not that either. It's a brown ale made with a lot of local wildflower honey. There is a Yeti on the beer's label, but the name actually refers to his home, which is Mount Everest. That is what the people of Tibet call the mountains. So nothing scary about that. At the Duluth location, I'm getting Untitled Arts Sunset Passion. I didn't see anything really spooky on their tap list, to be honest. Because of all the beers on the tap list, this one sounded the most like the candy I would like to consume on Halloween. So it's a fruited kettle sour featuring guava and passion fruit. But hey, if you decide to get the Dogfish Head pumpkin ale instead, I'm not going to judge you. I'm just not going to get it, but it's there if you want a pumpkin beer. At Truck and Tap Alpharetta, my pick is Wild Leaps Oktoberfest. Yes, I am engaging in a little scary seasonal lag with this one. I like Wild Leaps beers, and I think this is the first time I'm seeing their Oktoberfest this year, so I do have to try that. Besides, people are doing Oktoberfest parties still. It's October, and I guess Oktoberfest parties go right up until Halloween. And I feel like Oktoberfest beers are fine right up until Halloween, if not all the way out to Thanksgiving. They're going to feel seasonally appropriate, I believe. And finally, at the Lawrenceville location, I'm going with Creature Comfort's Bone Church on the side pull tap. The name fits in with the Halloween theme, and any excuse will do for having a good Pilsner on the side pull tap. But there are some other spooky options to choose from. The Oscar Blues Death by Coconut, Jackie O's Dark Apparition. I've recommended both those in previous shows. Lawrenceville officially wins the spookiest tap list of the week for all the Truck and Tap locations. But there you have my spooky beer picks for the week. As always, if you'd like to see the full tap list before stopping by, take a look at truckandtap.com. The taps do change quickly, and so you never know what great new beer might go on that you might be in. It might be even spookier than the ones I've recommended. And if you'd like to see what the food trucks are serving and what events are happening, like trivia, karaoke, live music, costume contests, that sort of thing, check that out at truckandtap.com. Everything you need to know can be found at truckandtap.com. So check it out. And thank you to Truck and Tap for your support.
Thank you, Truck and Tap. We appreciate you very much. And Beer Snob Sean he's got hashtag it's always fest beer season.
It is, yes.
We disagree with you, Sean, but we support your right to believe that. So.
From here on out, like it's always like heading.
Yeah. When does it end? When does it end? I think Thanksgiving is a good time for it to. After that, you need to get into your Christmas beers.
Yeah,
that's it. Then we roll into the first of the year. Can it have a split season? Maybe like could you go back into them But I know July is not. Yeah, Sean, no. I'm sorry. Just FYI, Sean, if you weren't aware of this, July and August are not fest beer season, no matter what the brewers, no matter what the brewers want you to think, and no matter when the brewers want to release their beers. So September 1st is the official date, and I am working to make this official. I'm talking to our commander-in-chief. He likes to sign things into, just throw a little executive order on things. So I'm seeing what we can do with that. And you will be deported if you drink one in July or August. So we'll see how that goes. But
the problem with drinking them after Thanksgiving is at that point, they were brewed probably middle of the year. They're getting pretty long in the tooth at that point.
That's fair. Yeah, they're not they're not Cellarum beers there. You know what? No. That's it. Yeah. Sean, we've made the decision here officially. September 1st until Thanksgiving.
I think we can all agree on that.
That's fest beer season.
I think that's fine.
That's fest beer season. Yeah.
I'm like, we don't need a pumpkin beer season. That like it can all be fest beer / Marzen
just right season. Up to it. Yeah. We can do that. Well, Brian, somewhat related to spooky season here. We got some Godzilla news. Do you guys like the Godzilla movies? Did either you new school or old school, Nate? You're nodding over there. Is it new school or old school Godzilla?
I've mostly been watching the new school.
Okay.
Godzilla 1, it's the latest one that's the Japanese release on Netflix. I really enjoyed that one.
Okay. Brian, do you get into those?
I've been meaning to watch the -1. I've heard that's very good.
That's the one I'm talking about.
Okay. It's really good.
All right.
I've seen some of them. I like all of the newer ones that have been done. I just love the pinball game, and I love the sound effects of the pinball game. So I think that's a very much a reference to the old school, like maybe 60s or whatever Godzilla. So I think I have to side with that with the old school Godzilla in all of its cheesy, over the top glory.
The damage to the city is astronomical.
Yeah, exactly. All those sound bites that are in that pinball game. Love those. I keep looking for an entire list of quotes from them because I want all of those. Because once I see them, I can hear it being said. But I'm trying to remember what all of them are. It's glorious. I want
pinball machine's got some good little one-liner things.
Yeah,
like a lot of them have good little things. But yeah,
I want that pinball machine. I really do.
It's a good one.
There's one or two other ones, but that one specifically, I want badly.
Good stuff, man. Well, Brian, I've got some good news for you because I know you like to have a beer when you're playing your pinball. And Brian, Godzilla PBR cans are coming.
God willing, I will have one while I'm playing Godzilla pinball.
Yes.
But Past Blue Ribbon is celebrating Godzilla's 70th anniversary this year with a special series of cans. 60 million cans of PBR with special Godzilla themed artwork will be showing up in stores sometime this fall. I don't know the exact date on that. The designs feature multiple classic kaiju characters. I hope I'm saying that right. I think, yeah. Anyway,
I think it's kaiju. That sounds
kaiju,
correct.
Yeah. Including Godzilla, Mothra, Mecha Godzilla, and King Ghidorah. I think that's right. I'm not as familiar with that character. Again, not as steeped in the Godzilla, culture as some people. This release is the latest installment of PBR's ongoing art can series, aiming to push boundaries and honor collaboration. In this case, the collaboration is with Toho International, the Tokyo-based studio that owns Godzilla, and artist Peter Attack, who is known for retro comic-style art and block print designs of iconic monsters. And I don't drink a lot of PBR, but I will be looking for these cans. I've seen a picture of them, and they are great. They are wonderful.
They do look cool. I've seen the pictures as well, and they definitely do look pretty darn cool there.
Yeah, and I guess the artist Attack Peter is pretty well known. I'm not very art savvy, but yeah, I like the style. What's in there very much ties in with the same kind of art as you would see in that the pinball, the machines that I'm talking about, the Godzilla pinball. So it lines up for me. It's just it's like perfect. I want that entire lineup of those cans, and I will definitely drink PBR to acquire
to make
them
that happen.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Good stuff, man.
Yeah,
good stuff. Yeah, it's fun, man. Fun pinball. The cans look cool. So I don't hate PBR. I'm not seeking out PBR, but I would have one in a Godzilla can. I have to think that some of our pinball bars with Godzilla machines are going to do their darn best to get some of those Godzilla cans.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and didn't they have, if memory serves, because they had a Jaws pinball machine,
they got
dropped. They had a Narragansett special edition kind of tie-in event where they had it. And we were playing Jaws, drinking Narragansett, which, as people who know the movie will know, that was featured pretty prominently in the movie. Beer. So that was pretty cool. So yeah, I would love to see this. And I know for a fact that at one of the pinball bars here, we were drinking PBR because that was they had Tall Boy cold cans that was available in that section. It was the taco joint that has a little side thing. I'm pretty sure it was PBR cans that we were drinking.
It was the Escape Bar joint.
Was it the Escape Bar that was PBR?
Yeah. So they had a fairly limited list, but I remember that the PBR Tall Boy, the taco joint as well.
I thought it was a taco joint.
That is, yeah.
They would definitely have, I'm pretty sure they did have, and I'm pretty sure they would have. That would be a good place for us to go to try out pairing out the beer with that pinball game. We technically already have, just not with the artwork. So
right. Yeah. Right. Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, Brian, it's probably not going to be PBR or Gansett, but if you are flying Air Canada, they're going to give you some free beer.
Yeah. So if you like beer and you're looking for an airline recommendation, I have one for you. You might consider flying Air Canada, because as of this month, Air Canada is offering free beer and wine to economy class passengers on all flights, including like the short hop domestic routes. This makes the airline the only major airline in North America offering complimentary alcohol to economy class passengers. So the article points out that this isn't an industry first. It has been done before, but there is apparently a smaller regional airline called Porter Airlines that does offer passengers free booze in economy class, but they're very small, and I think that most of the people listening to the show wouldn't have the opportunity to fly that airline. But also several major airlines do as well out internationally. Korean Air, Emirates, Singapore. I flew Air Asia one time, and they bought around a full bottle of scotch, and they were pouring, I think it was like Macallan 12. And would you care for some whiskey? I was just flying like, yes, I would.
I would.
Like, yes, if you're gonna pour. And they came back by a second time. Would you care for some more? I'm like, well, as a matter of fact, I would. So I thought that was the coolest thing I'd ever seen, and I'd done a fair amount of flying at that time, and I've never seen anybody do that since. So really cool. Anyway, if you're wondering why the sudden generosity, it's a strategic trade-off. The policy was introduced shortly after Air Canada began charging customers $35 to bring on carry-on luggage. According to Air Canada, free food and beer has a greater positive impact on their customers than lowering baggage fees and other service costs. So they're getting more goodwill, and they're making more money, I think, as a result. So not everybody is going to take them up on the free beer, but some people will, and those people that do will be like, you know what? Keep the $35 for the baggage fees. I'll just keep bringing the beer. So,
and they will be like, well, we were going to keep the $35 anyhow. So,
exactly, and this beer costs us next to nothing. But yeah, it's like,
so it turns out that Air Canada is now giving you beer, and they are charging you via your carry-on luggage. Is what this boils down. And calling it free, man. They played this one.
Oh yeah,
this isn't something I would expect from Canada. I expect hiding it in a baggage fee there.
Basically, yeah. It's like,
Air Canada. I'm so disappointed in you.
Well, yeah. So the actual cost of the beer is next to nothing. So this easily covers that plus more.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But here's the thing: people are buying it up. Apparently, it's a very
I
successful
can see that
thing.
for sure.
And I thought about it. I'm like, well, if the price was much more, and they were flying where I needed to go, I would consider doing that just so I could have a beer.
Yeah.
I mean, have to pay for a beverage on the thing, and I guess other free food as well. Just be nice, I guess.
Well, marketing is such a powerful thing, the way you do it. There's a story from years ago about marketing. McDonald's had their quarter pounder, and you don't see them much. I think they're more maybe Midwest area in that, but A&W restaurants. Have you seen those, Brian?
Yes. I did see folks, some places where I lived. Yeah.
So apparently, when the quarter pounder started getting popular, A&W launched a 3rd pound burger, I guess at the same price. And people were angry. They thought, they were getting ripped off because they were only getting a 3rd pound burger when McDonald's had a quarter pounder.
Because 3 is smaller than 4.
It is, man. It is. So and I think that's an interesting lesson in marketing and perception and stuff, and a very sad tale about American education.
Mm-hmm. It is. And beer snob Sean is what style of beer Porter Airlines would serve. Like, well, it would be pretty awesome if they were pouring Guinness
barley
or something
wine,
like
man.
that.
Barley wine. Yeah. Good stuff.
Everybody's just getting plowed on the local. It's like, I don't even need to fly here, but I just like to drink the barley wine in the air. So that's why I'm
Right. Good stuff. Well, guys, we are rolling into spooky season, as we talked about. Do any of you have a beer that you like for Halloween, or do either of you do Halloween anymore? Nate, do you do Halloween?
My neighborhood doesn't get a lot of I don't get a lot of trick or treaters at my house. So in terms of doing Halloween, I don't generally go to any sort of Halloween party. I don't have a Halloween tradition as an adult. When you said, do I have a particular beer? To be honest with you, I'm still just drinking the Oktoberfests, the Marzens, and the Fest beers. And so I don't have a go-to beer. As somebody who does not encourage pumpkin beer drinking, for myself or for others, I do not have a go-to Halloween beer.
Didn't Allagash do one with don't they have one that's kind of Halloween themed? I remember a
dark beer.
Haunted House.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they do have a haunted house, don't they?
Yeah. So that seems like that'd be a good one to go for.
I should have had it for this time, but I have I forget the brewery that does it, but I have a Frankenstein themed beer or something like that. I decided I won't do this. I'll do it next week, but I think by the time that show airs, it will actually be after Halloween. So
it'll be done.
I miscalculated a little bit, but I will drink that.
It was a good try.
I did actually pick up it was a barrel aged something or other pumpkin. Was it something King? Oh my God. What is that?
Phantom would be a good one for that. I haven't seen them in a while. And that's Allagash did one. Let me see. What was it called? Ghoul's Chip? Like
Cool Ship, a Ghoul Ship. Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I remember, of course, Phantom. That's a good. And Phantom does, for some reason, a beer with spinach, and it's bright green, so that's a little spooky. I don't remember what that one was called, but that would be one you could do. Let's see if I can find this real quick here. Phantom beer with spinach in it. But that would be the one I could think of.
There is a Maple Warlock. That's what it is. It took me a second to find
Maple Warlock. Okay. Oh, Warlock and that. Yeah.
I have a single bottle of that I picked up when I was out, and I'm actually thinking about drinking that on Halloween. Despite all the things I say about pumpkin beers, I'm actually planning on cracking that one open. It's Warlock is this says pumpkin yam beer, but I thought Warlock was actually like a pumpkin stout. So yeah, mysterious imperial stout base, and then it's maple pumpkin pie, roasted malts, I don't know if this is barrel. It doesn't say anything about being barrel aged. So I think it's just a dark stout with pumpkin and maple. I'm like, you know what? I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a try.
We'll give it a shot here. We'll see what we can come up
I think
with.
This might be the first time I've ever come across it. And I wasn't immediate repulsed by it. So I'm like, you know what? Let's try it. So
might as well see what's going on there. Well, y'all, that about wraps it up for our show this week. We hope that you have a great rest of the week, and we hope you have a good Halloween. If you decorate or get dressed up, we hope it's a banger for you there. So if you enjoy what we do here, we would definitely appreciate you letting a friend know to tune into the show, subscribe to our podcast, or even join us here for the live stream. If you really dig us, we would definitely appreciate your support on Patreon. Just go to patreon.com/beerguys. We'll get you some cool swag. We'll get you in our Discord chat, and we'll just have a good time. With all that said, we hope you have a really good week, and don't forget to drink local. Cheers.